The devastation of Hurricane Sandy back in 2012 is still felt today. But through much hard work from local citizens, local town officials, and civic groups, progress has been made on the popular area known as the Ed Warner Old Ponquogue Bridge Park.
So since the late 80s, the piers did weather many storms, but in the 2000s when Hurricanes Irene and Sandy hit, it became necessary to either totally take down the piers or to renovate and rebuild them. Both options were on the table.
Around September of 2014, I got a phone call saying that, hey Barry, do you know that the old Ponquogue Bridge, which is 85 years old, because of Hurricane Sandy, the town of Southampton has decided they're going to remove the old bridge. That was a shocking phone call. I completely was in awe when I heard about that. So what I did was I got a team of divers together, one of them being a photographer, a biologist that has been photographing what's going on underneath the Ponquogue Bridge for many, many years, and other divers of whom I put together and asked if I could meet with the town. I needed to emphasize to the town and prove to them that the ecosystem underwater underneath that old Ponquogue Bridge is without a doubt the best dive site along the shore of the entire Long Island. And the town was astonished as to what is underneath the water there. And in the middle of the presentation, the town supervisor, Anna Throne-Holst, looked inside the room that we were presenting and said, whoa, what's going on here? She had no idea of what was underwater, and she said, stop everything. We're not taking that bridge down until we do our due diligence and determine whether or not it really needs to come down.
The dive community came out and provided a lot of information, and they were so passionate about refurbishing at least the Southside fishing pier to preserve the underwater marine environment. It was quite the education for me to see what goes on below the water and not look at it from a nuts and bolts perspective. This bridge pier has such an incredible habitat below the water surface that the dive community comes from out of state. It's really a tourist attraction for divers to dive under this area and an economic driver for this local economy. I felt very happy to change direction on this project.
So at that point, the town began working with FEMA, reconstructed the north and south piers with sustainable hardwoods, epay, also green heart pilings, and they were open to the public in 2019.
It was a great show of people getting together and working through an issue and resolving it in a very positive way. The diving was saved because we didn't basically move any of the structures under the bridge. There's many very large rocks and habitat. It's almost like a reef system. It's one of the few, if only, walk-off dive site. The fishing from here is probably second to none because you have the cold water of the Atlantic Ocean coming in every 6 hours, and then the bays up in the headwaters are with the warm water and all the bait fish leaving, so it's a great fishing venue. It's a great site to come stand and watch a great sunrise or a sunset, so we got the best of both worlds here.
We have a dedicated fundraiser every fall for our water-related project of the year, and for last year's project we were wanting to do something local, and I called Kristen, our Parks Commissioner, and asked her how Rotary could get involved with something maybe related to the Parks Department, and she suggested a few projects, including what we're doing, which is so exciting, and that's the creation of interpretive signage here at the new Marine Park. So working with Cornell Cooperative Extension, and you folks have the science end of it and we have the funding end of it, and we're helping to make this whole project just more of what's shaping up to be a world-class attraction for the local community, our local school children, and the many tourists who are visiting this area now.
So this is going to go on for a long time. It's a gem that is just so superior to anything else here. that these divers and everybody else, the fishermen and the boaters, really can utilize for decades into the future. So it was a tremendous success for the dive community, the fishing community, the boaters, and we applaud the town of Southampton for listening to us and following through on what they said they were going to do, and actually taking it so far beyond by getting all of those funds to rebuild the bridge and make it such a great place for people to go to.
I think the biggest thing about the Ed Warner Park here is it affords public access for everybody. Fishing, diving, kayaking, it's a wonderful area, and everybody gets to enjoy our local waters, and that's what the trustees really are about, preserving and protecting the maritime heritage of our town.